person asking God for help.
Help,
And then
that
also
attention.
the comedic side of it, of all the
That's
things.
the video.
That's the video.
You know, but jahan tak it is a cry for attention, for help, for support.
I never thought about that, but I definitely see what you're saying, and I think कि वो emotional resonance दोनों चीजों के अंदर maybe है for sure. Rang De for me again was a song which wasn't supposed to be in the album. I had composed it last year and I had felt कि maybe किसी project में डाल देंगे. You know, हम बहुत दफा कहते हैं कि जी कवाली type चीज हमें किसी situation पे चाहिए. But then it, for some reason, had to be in the album because I tried to plug it into a couple of projects. And वो projects ही बंद हो गए.
Oh my God,
projects ही बंद हो गए. When
Okay.
you know, I literally I was like, oh,
हाँ.
इसमें इस film में डाल देते हैं,
हाँ.
film बंद हो गई.
हाँ.
किसी ड्रामे में वो ड्रामे नहीं बना.
हाँ.
So then I was like, okay, I think this is, you know, I do believe that such things come from God, and whether they work or not is irrelevant. You know, they are part of your life for some reason. So I feel that that song is to be my song.
Right.
And that's why it's in the album.
That's why.
Yeah.
So how many types of love are you experiencing in life currently?
I think we all experience multiple, right? Like as
all
you
the
said,
time, absolutely.
So the thing is that, for instance, you're right, very rightfully, I do think about how an album flows. So the way the track list flows, I do think कि अगर 1000 लोग गाने सुनेंगे, तो उसमें से maybe 5 होंगे जो back to front सुनेंगे. So that, and back in the day, it did used to make a difference on how the cassette was aligned or how the record was aligned, that it flowed in a certain manner.
Yeah.
You know, you had a bit of a journey. So I was like, okay, if anybody's going to sit and listen to it back to front, there has to be a logic to it. I don't want, like, I take someone into a very, you know, this certain kind of love and then we put Ma after that. You know, it also makes you feel a bit icky, right?
Yeah.
Or spiritual love for that matter. So yes, Ma is right at the top.
And how did Ma react to it?
I wanted to compose something for her for a long time, you know, and I never thought that I could, or I had honestly had the skill set or the ability to do anything that could even remotely put a speck into what she's done for me.
Absolutely.
And this melody was there. We started writing it, and I remember the day I played it to her, you know, and it's just a small token of my, you know, how I feel towards her.
How did she react to it?
You know my mom?
Yes.
You know, she just smiled. You know, she's not someone who would say that much, but she just smiled. And I think a lot of my journey with my mother has been so public since I was a child.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, okay, what she's been through, you know. So it's one of those things which is less said and more felt. So anybody who I think will listen to this song, who was old enough and aware in the 90s when my whole childhood stuff happened, which people at that time are aware of, it was very public.
Yeah.
I think will understand the emotion of it. And those who don't, hopefully it's a song that just connects them to their mother. Or
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a very calming song.
Thank you.
It's starting on a very sort of, you know, दिलासा देने वाला जो गाना है ना, वो है कि, you know, माँ है.
It's there's a verse in it where I say that जब सारा जहां तेरे कदमों पे था, तूने मुझे चुना. Something of that sort.
Yeah.
And that for me is a direct reference to that she was at the peak of her career when she decided to have me. You know, she married my father.
Yeah.
And at a time when heroin, having a child was like destruction to their career.
Yeah.
You know, so now that I'm in the industry and I know कि आज भी एक unfortunately एक heroine को आज भी बोला जाता है कि आप अगर माँ बनेंगी तो आपकी shelf life कम हो जाएगी, आपका फलाना nonsense that is said. Imagine what was said back then.
बिल्कुल,
you know, and for her to choose to have a child at that when you were like doing the biggest films in India, and you know you were Kapoor Saab's heroine, and right after that, you know, 2 years, literally a year and a half.
Yeah.
My parents got married in 93, 94. I was born in 94. Yeah. So, you know, to make that decision, for me, today, the gravity of it is visible. So it is, like, there are verses in it which are directly referencing
right.
to my
right.
mom. Yeah.
Right. And then the second song, it flows into Nadan Dil,
Yeah.
which for me sounds like first love, longing for a love, or something that you're pining for. Does it flow in that direction? Can it be referred to your marriage, perhaps, or to your children? Because you also became a dad at a very young age. कुछ मुझे उसमें सुन के लगता है there's a bit of melancholy है,
I see what
longing
you mean.
है.
It does potentially reference to first love.
First love.
In the sense where, so I always ask myself this question, that what is, when people say कि प्यार एक बार होता है, all of that. I do sometimes think that when you're in love, you do feel that this is it. When you fall in love with somebody, you do think यही है. Regardless if it's the 10th time or if it's
forever,
this is forever, this
हाँ.
is it. But Nadan Dil is a song which the hook, meaning the main hook line, and a lot of it was composed for Superstar in 2017.
Okay.
2016, 17. And then the rest of it was written recently, like when I was working on this album. So there is a part of it which definitely I would say is referring to first love, whether it's towards my marriage or towards anything. I would say first love, kind of essence.
Was that your first love?
My marriage?
Yes.
Of course.
No, why first
Of
यार?
course.
12 साल पे भी किसी को first love हो
तब वो कुछ टीचर हुई होंगी.
वो तो crush होगा ना?
Yeah, no, definitely.
That was first love. हाँ. So वो longing तो है गाने में.
Now that you say it, sure.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you something that I do. I try to detach a little bit.
Okay.
With the songs, just because it becomes very, it's going to sound very pseudo, so forgive me, but it becomes hard to, when we're making a song the way people make movies or whatever, you have to listen to the song so many times.
Yeah.
Like if I open my play counts on an album, each song is probably heard a few thousand times.
Really?
Yeah. Because while you're working on it, again
obviously,
and again,
yeah,
multiple times a day you're hearing it. So if you attach such clear emotion to a song, at least I won't be able to work.
Right.
If every time I play the song and I'm thinking of like an ex-girlfriend and or whatever, you're going to collapse. So I try to detach and make it objective that this is my work.
Right.
But yeah, when I think about it, definitely Nadan Dil has first love emotions in it.
And why was it the first song you chose to make a video on?
I think the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
When we were making Nadan Dil, I've tried like 2 or 3 variations of it, which are like with full music and arrangement and all that. I just felt that lyrically it had enough weight for it to just be, that's it. A friend of mine heard it recently and she was like, oh, is it just piano in the back? And I'm like, yeah. Sometimes like some great songs that I've grown up listening to, they don't need anything else.
Right.
So we'll see if Nadan Dil, inshallah, makes it there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to keep it raw, simple. So even the video is just me on the piano singing.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's nothing else.
Yeah. Who are the people you take your songs to for advice or feedback?
For advice?
Yeah. गाना complete होता है तो किसके पास जाता है पहले?
But before it goes into the Ghana phase, right? I think there are 3 people who I will play a melody to. My mother and my kids.
Okay.
Best, most humbling experience always, right?
Although your dad is the one who's the musical genius here, but yeah.
To him, I will send the most refined final.
Okay, वरना बेसी.
बेइज्जती भी है. दूसरा ये है कि जब मुझे ही पता है कि इसमें 6 चीजें सही होनी है ना, तो मुझे वो नहीं सुननी उनसे. I rather go to him with the amount of experience he has. When I'm like, I'm done.
You want the honest layman opinion.
When I go to him, he's going to be like, mix खराब है, ये सही नहीं है. So I rather go to him when I've done my bit.
ठीक है.
And now he can give me his expertise, whereas like how to make it better. I remember when I had the demos of this album, and उसमें कुछ और गाने भी थे जो which didn't make the cut. And I remember I played them to my kids. One had one headphone in, one had the other one.
How old are they? Please even बता दें.
Ibrahim's 9 and my daughter Lily, she's 7. So I play them the songs back to back. They hear all of them. So after that, after a little while, they're like, I was like, oh, so what's your favorite? They're like, baby.
Baby, मैं कहने लगी थी baby.
So they're like, baby's our favorite. I'm like, oh, why? That's the only one we remember.
Because it's called baby. Yeah. And it's
Possibly, right?
Yeah. I
So
mean,